Hello and welcome to the Saturday Newsroom. We're broadcasting from our studios here in Kanifing along the IC Highway. I am Madam Demseka and thanks for joining us. Coming up, the Gambia Press Union marks World Press Freedom Day, honoring media legends. The University of the Gambia holds largest ever convocation celebrating historic graduates and new academic milestones. The Gambia Armed Forces boasts operational readiness with graduation of clerical and signal cadre corps. The Bundung Maternal and Child Hospital celebrates International Workers' Day with vibrant activities. On international news, Mali conflict deepens as arrests mount and rebels claim territorial gains. World Press Freedom Day highlights rising dangers faced by journalists globally. Those are the headlines and now the news in detail. Many thanks for joining us. On Sunday, May 3rd, 2026, the Gambia Press Union and the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication observed World Press Freedom Day with the theme Honoring Our Legends, Defending Our Freedom. The commemoration recognizes the sacrifices of Gambian journalists who have bravely upheld press freedom through challenging times, underscoring the vital role of a free media in strengthening democracy and fostering peaceful societies. Aji Fatou Jallo has more on that.
From the dark days of repression to a modern era of renewal, the voice of truth in the Gambia has been bought with sacrifice. Today, as the world reflects on global theme of shaping a future of peace, the Gambian media fraternity gathers not just to celebrate their status as eighth in Africa, but to honor the legends who resisted silence. Yet, behind the improved rankings lies a sobering reality: incomplete law reforms and the continued harassment of those who dare to hold power to account. Ms. Aissatou Keita, president of the Gambia Press Union, called on the government to honor its obligations in fulfilling media law reforms. She specifically urged the implementation of the UN Plan of Action on the safety of journalists and the issue of impunity, as per the recommendations of the Truth Commission. Providing the foundation for this evolving landscape is the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, MAJAC. James Baji, the Director of Training, says the Academy has moved beyond basic instruction to become a pillar of the industry.
So MAJAC has become more than just a training institution. It has become a symbol for quality journalism in the Gambia. We have created opportunities for aspiring journalists who previously had limited access to professional media education. Through our programs, many young people have gained the confidence, technical skills, and ethical grounding needed to contribute meaningfully to national development.
Representing the state, Ibrahim Sane, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, reaffirmed the government's stance. He described the promotion of press freedom as a fundamental pillar of democracy, underscoring a commitment to transparency and accountability in governance. However, human rights advocate Fat Jan Senghor, founder of the Center for Women's Rights and Leadership, warned against complacency, calling free speech the cornerstone of democracy. She urged the state to abandon era or repressive laws, insisting that international law rejects state regulation of journalists. The day ended with a reminder that rankings and anniversaries are only part of the story. By evoking the name of Deida Haidara, the event bridged the gap between the dark chapters of the past and a future where accountability is paramount. For the journalists gathered, the real work continues in newsrooms across the country, where the legacy of those who came before them is tested every day. For Star TV News, I am Aji Fatou Jallo.
The University of the Gambia marked a historic milestone on Saturday as President Adama Barrow, Chancellor of the University, presided over its 18th convocation ceremony at the Faraba Banta campus. A record-breaking 1,633 students received degrees across various fields of study, making this largest convocation in the institution's history. More in this report.
2026 statistics of graduates as follows. For the Faculty of Law, 78. School of Agriculture and Environment Sciences, 61. School of Arts and Sciences, 319. School of Business and Public Administration, 381. School of Education, 292. School of Engineering and Architecture, 28. School of Information Technology and Communication, 98. School of Journalism and Digital Media, 17. School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, we have 152 and includes programs in medicine, dentistry, nursing, midwifery, physiotherapy, and public health. For the School of Graduate Studies and Research, we have 207 graduates here. The total, in terms of gender ratio, the total is 1633.
This convocation, held under the theme Higher Education as a Strategic Bridge for Policy, Innovation and Job Creation, is the largest in the university's history. The ceremony also marks two significant milestones: the graduation of the first cohort of dentistry students and the awarding of the university's first PhD degrees in law. These achievements underscores the University of the Gambia's growing academic excellence. President Adam Barrow, the Chancellor of the University, personally officiated the ceremony by conferring the degrees, highlighting both individual accomplishments and the nation's progress through education.
Constitute this assembly, the 16th convocation of the University of the Gambia for the conferment of degrees, diplomas, and certificates of the University of the Gambia.
Professor Mamadou Mustafa Fane, the UTG Governing Council Chairperson, emphasized the convocation theme as a call to rethink the role of higher education in shaping the Gambia's future. He appealed to the government to progressively take responsibility for the basic salaries of staff across all public universities to ease financial pressures and improve staff retention. Professor Fane also noted that the new Faraba campus has ended years of renting classrooms and examination halls.
We do not simply celebrate what they have achieved. We affirm what they are capable of becoming. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the University of the Gambia stands at a defining moment. You must move beyond growth and excellence, beyond expansion into measurable impact. In line with this year's theme, higher education must serve as a strategic bridge, linking knowledge to policy, innovation to enterprise, and learning to job creation. Our responsibility is not only to produce graduates, but to nurture critical thinkers, innovators, and resilient job creators, capable of transforming our economy and shaping the future of our society.
Professor Herbert Robinson, UTG Vice Chancellor, highlighted the expansion of the Faraba campus, noting that its impact on increasing student enrollment, enhancing research opportunities, and improving laboratory and faculty capacity. He praised the government's ongoing support for the university's transformation.
2022, we have taken bold steps to strengthen leadership and staff capacity. Top management roles were restructured in 2022 to improve coordination and to enhance delivery in teaching and learning, research and innovation, and operations are core pillars. Job specifications were also developed and introduced with defined career pathways for both academic and administrative departments. This paves the way for developing specialist expertise in certain areas, notably ICT, records management, procurement, human resource, and finance, to strengthen institutional capacity.
The ceremony drew a distinguished audience, including government officials, the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, students, parents, and special guests such as Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, former president of the African Development Bank, and Professor Daudangom, Senegalese Minister of Higher Education, Research and Innovation. Vice Chancellors from universities in Senegal, Ghana, and Nigeria were also in attendance.
Today marks the end of one journey, but more importantly, the beginning of another. You carry with you the hopes of your families, the aspirations of your nation, and the future of our continent. The true value of your education will not be measured by your certificates, but by what you do with them. Look around.
The University of the Gambia has equipped you to meet these challenges, whether through public service, startup creation, teaching, or applied research. Senegal stands ready to welcome you. Scholarship, internship at all Senegalese public universities, as well as innovation funding mechanism are available for your applications. Together, Gambian and Senegal.
In a significant announcement, the Governing Council renamed the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences to the Adesina School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences in honor of Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. Dr. Adesina expressed his pride in the university's progress and his commitment to Africa's development. He pledged an initial endowment of $250,000 to support education, scholarships, and faculty development, promising to help make UTG a global center of excellence. His Excellency President Adam Barrow underscored the role of higher education as a strategic bridge for policy, innovation, and job creation. He challenged universities to lead in shaping public policy and reducing dependence on external expertise. The President cited government initiatives such as the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, the National Research and Innovation Fund, and the Students' Revolving Loan Scheme as key measures supporting research and infrastructure expansion.
The sector is contributing increasingly and significantly towards nurturing public servants to formulate and implement policy. There is a growing and urgent need, however, to reposition higher education further as a central engine for evidence-based policy making, a key driver of our much-needed industrialization process, and an accelerator of socio-economic and environmental transformation. Our national priorities will be met only when we restructure higher education for the urgent transformation of human capital development and sustainable development. By integrating research into national policy frameworks, universities can help shape the direction of the country.
The ceremony concluded with recognition of outstanding students, with Ibrahim Sumare honored as the overall best graduating students, second best graduating student, and third best graduating students were also awarded. Sumare expressed humility and gratitude, urging his peers to serve the nation with purpose and determination.
Find our destiny. But even as I rose academically, life continued to test me. There were responsibilities beyond my age, moments of emotional weight, family challenges that require strength and maturity, times when I had to be stronger, not just for myself, but for others. There were nights I felt completely drained, moments I questioned everything, moments I felt like stopping, but in those moments, I held onto a verse that has guided me through every phase of my life. Indeed, with hardship comes ease.
The 18th convocation represents a significant step in aligning the Gambia's higher education system with the country's sustainable development goals, reflecting the university's expanding role in national development. Families and officials alike celebrated this landmark occasion, marking a new chapter in the Gambia's educational progress. Maria Madem, reporting for Start News.
Now moving on, the Gambia Armed Forces has strengthened its command and communication capabilities by graduating 66 officers from an intensive clerical and signal cadre course at the Armed Forces Training School, enhancing battlefield communication reliability and administrative support critical to mission success. Lamin Ba reports.
A total of 66 officers successfully completed the 3-week program, which combined theoretical instruction with practical drills in military communication, documentation procedures, and administrative command support. The course is designed to enhance both battlefield communication, reliability, and the accuracy of internal military documentation, two critical pillars in modern military operations. Significant emphasis on signal operations, including secure communication protocols, message transmission discipline, and rapid information relay under simulated operational conditions. Participants were also drilled in clerical responsibilities such as records management, correspondence handling, and the systematic processing and disposal of official documents functions essential to maintaining command continuity and institutional accountability. Commandant Major Abdoulaye Seka of the Gambia Armed Forces Training School underscored the strategic importance of the dual training. He noted that in signal operations, reliability and durability are non-negotiable, particularly in high-pressure environments where communication breakdowns can compromise mission success. He further highlighted that clerical roles, often overlooked, form the administrative backbone of military structure, ensuring that orders are properly documented, tracked, and executed.
The efficiency of command and control in the military depends upon reliability, accuracy, and security of its communication. Signal communication is therefore a vital component of operational effectiveness, enabling the commander to exercise authority, coordinate movement, and ensure timely transmission of orders and information.
Delivering a vote of thanks on behalf of the graduating cohort, Lance Corporal Mohammed Balde reflected on the rigor of the training, stating that instructors pushed participants beyond their perceived limits. He emphasized the interdependence of both disciplines, noting that clerks formalize and process command directives, while signal personnel ensure those directives are transmitted accurately and in real time.
You also taught us digital mobile radios, net diagrams, communication security, and most importantly, discipline under pressure. However, your words on safeguarding comms integrity in modern warfare reinforces why we endeavor to serve in these streets. To my fellow graduates, clerks and signalers, we started as individuals, but we are living as a team. From orderly room procedures to unit documentations, we are two sides of the same coin. Clerks process the order, signalers pass the order, one ensures that it is received. Let's take that teamwork from the school to our units. May our files be clean and our comms be loud and clear.
Representing the Chief of Defense Staff, Colonel Mamadou A. Jallo, Director Administration and Human Resources, Gambia Armed Forces, commended the graduates and outlined the broader operational relevance of the course. He stressed, including document classification, secure handling, and efficient disposal, are vital in maintaining operational security and administrative order within the armed forces.
The importance of efficient and accurate clerical duties cannot be overstated. It ensures that the communication flows seamlessly, that records are meticulously maintained, and that every aspect of our operation is organized and efficient. Let me quick to emphasize that as clerks, you are expected to uphold the highest standard of discipline, secrecy, good ethics, and professionalism in the course of your duties. As the nature of your work demands, you will be privy to information, and some of them very sensitive. To the signalers, today's modern-day military training and operation have demonstrated that effective communication in this lifeline that connects command to execution. Without it, even the most well-planned operations can fail. As signalers and communication specialists, you now carry a responsibility that is both technical and strategic. You are entrusted with ensuring that information flows accurately, securely, and in a timely manner.
The graduation underscored the Gambia Armed Forces' ongoing commitment to capacity building, particularly in areas that directly support command, control, and the communication system. As modern military operations increasingly rely on precision, coordination, and information management, the integration of skilled clerical and signal personnel remains central to mission readiness and national defense. Laminba, Star TV News.
Staff of the Bundung Maternal and Child Hospital joined nationwide celebrations of International Workers' Day with a colorful march past to Sarakunda East Mini Stadium. Under the theme Empowering Health Workers for a Resilient Future, the event honored the dedication of healthcare workers and called for improved resources and working conditions in the health sector. Hadijaju has more.
The procession, featuring healthcare workers in uniform, banners and coordinated displays, highlighted the dedication and resilience of medical staff serving the community. The event forms part of activities commemorating Workers' Day, recognizing the vital role frontline health workers play in delivering maternal and child health care services. Acting Chief Executive Officer of Bundung Maternal and Child Hospital, Fantaseka Jau, congratulated workers for their immense contribution to national development. She also called on government to address key challenges facing the health sector, particularly the need for adequate equipment.
Can do everything like perfectly, or you cannot get everything 100%. But also what we want is, health workers, if they are motivated, they can do a lot. There are so many ways of trying to motivate health workers. We are not asking for much, but just recognition of the work that people are doing. I think that can motivate somebody to continue doing very well. Like if somebody does worked very well, let the person be recognized by the government, and we also ensure like the things, the equipment, the drugs and everything that the health workers need are also available for people to do their work perfectly. As far as you want to do your work, if certain things are not available, to be honest, you will not be able to do your work perfectly. So we asking the government to help not only Bundung but all the facilities, yes, to make sure.
A representative from the Medical Control Program, Alfuseni Mane, commended the hospital management for creating an enabling environment that recognizes and celebrates the achievements of health workers.
Workers, we are role models. We should be advocating for physical health for our clients, for our patients. So if we take the lead in doing it, that will motivate our clients and our patients, and they will take it seriously. Like the saying goes, all work, no play, make Jack a dull boy. So I know our work is so hectic, it's so tight. Healthcare workers have a very busy work schedule. So creating some time to come and exercise, to come and play around will help us a lot in terms of our mental health and our well-being. So I want to acknowledge that.
Former CEO, Dr. Mamadi Cham, also outlined the significance of the day, emphasizing its importance in honoring the contributions of workers across all sectors.
This is just more than sports. It's coming together. You see, today there is no difference between admin or clinical. People are at tandem with each other, and I think we should continue this. I know the current board is very supportive of such. So anytime, I know if you tell them, they will be more than happy to endorse it. So once again, I congratulate you for achieving this milestone and also be able to continue a good initiative, and hope that God, the Almighty, give you the strength and the wisdom to be doing more innovative things more than this.
Staff Welfare Association Executive Joseph S. Mendy praised healthcare workers for their unwavering commitment, while calling for unity and improved working conditions to enhance service delivery.
Our service continues to bring hope to the people we serve. It also brings trust, and we also bring joy in the communities we serve. So we not just celebrating fun today, we are also celebrating togetherness, unity. So we employ each and every one of.
While calling for unity and improved working conditions to enhance service delivery. The celebrations also featured recreational activities including tug of war, as well as 100 and 200 meters for both men and women. Across the Gambia, Workers' Day continues to serve as both a celebration of labor contributions and a platform for advocating better wages, social protection and improved working conditions. For Star TV News, I am Hadijaju.
Honorable Fatoumata Njie, member of the National Assembly for Banjul South, has been elected as the second Vice President for the West Africa of the Women's Caucus of the Pan-African Parliament. Her election occurred during the renewal of leadership for the 7th Legislature of the Continental Parliament, where members chose a new bureau following the principle of regional rotation. The new bureau will be led by Honorable Rehab Mukami Wachira of Kenya as president, representing Eastern Africa, and Honorable Isa Adams of Malawi as first vice president for Southern Africa. The Women's Caucus of the Pan-African Parliament works across regions, including West Africa, to mainstream gender equality, advocate for women's rights, such as the Maputo Protocol, and increase women's participation in governance and decision-making. The caucus collaborates with parliamentary delegations, civil society, and stakeholders to address challenges like gender-based violence, economic marginalization, and lack of representation. Honorable Njie's election represents a significant milestone for the Gambia's parliamentary presence at the continental level and highlights the country's expanding role in promoting women's leadership within regional and international parliamentary bodies. As a National Assembly member representing Banjul South, Honorable Njie has been a strong advocate for women's political participation, youth empowerment, and inclusive governance both nationally and internationally. She has also represented the Gambia in regional parliamentary forums, including the ECOWAS Parliament. From that update, we will now take a short commercial break. And when we return, the news continues. Stay tuned. Welcome back. After the short commercial break, we're just tuning in, watching the StarTV Newsroom, and we're broadcasting from our studios here in Kanifing. Let's now shift our attention to some international news. Mali's conflict is intensifying as authorities arrest several current and former military officers accused of colluding with armed groups behind recent deadly attacks. In the capital, Bamako, Al-Qaeda-linked fighters are enforcing a tightening blockade, disrupting daily life and deepening economic hardship for residents. Meanwhile, in the North Tuareg, separatists say they have taken full control of Kidal and surrounding after Mali forces and Russian-backed fighters withdrew. Rebels also claim to have discovered mass graves in former military camps, raising serious human rights concerns. Rights groups have previously accused multiple actors in Mali's conflict, including government forces, armed groups, and foreign fighters, of abuses against civilians. All sides denied wrongdoing. Across the border in Mauritania, displaced Malians watch developments closely. Some hope for peace and a return home, while others fear the growing role of foreign fighters could prolong the war. As divisions emerge within Mali's military and armed groups expand their reach, the situation remains volatile with no clear resolution inside. Azira's Nicholas Hack reports.
Tuareg separatists walked through an army camp at Amishesh in northern Mali after soldiers and Russian paramilitaries surrendered. In the dust, they stumble on a human skull, then another. Not just human remains, but a mass grave, they say. Rights groups have accused Russian fighters, Malian forces, as well as armed groups of war crimes and crimes against humanity, against civilians.
The acts carried out by authorities in Bamako and their allies are among the most serious and most odious forms of violence against civilians.
But all sides deny wrongdoing, including Mali's army and Russia's Africa Corps, which replaced Moscow's Wagner Group mercenaries after they withdrew last year. Now, Tuareg rebels and Al-Qaeda fighters say they have taken control of the entire Kidal region. In the town of Kidal, most shops are closed. A few dare to venture out. Across the border in Mauritania's refugee camp, displaced Malians from the north watch events back home unfold with mixed emotions.
As soon as there is peace, I will return home. My country was torn from me by force. It's impossible to accept that.
Others fear Russian paramilitary influence will prolong the war.
The president brought Russian fighters to us. We have never had foreign soldiers massacre civilians the way they do. They were the French, the Americans, but we have never seen foreign soldiers kill children and women like the Russians.
Around Bamako, Al-Qaeda-linked fighters continue to enforce a blockade while Russian forces reinforce their presence. It's a huge city, and Al-Qaeda does not control every road, but its presence is enough to spread fear.
I've just closed my shop. It's been more than 5 days without a single customer. People are still scared, especially after the threats from armed groups. Right now, the financial situation is really difficult.
I want to send a message to the public. Report anything suspicious to the authorities. What happened last Saturday was likely an inside job, so we need to stay vigilant.
Several junior officers, politicians, and retired military personnel have been arrested, accused of colluding with the armed groups and rebels behind Saturday's attacks. There are signs of division within the ranks. Soldiers in the north abandoning their positions without putting up a fight. Meanwhile, Tuareg separatists say they are on the offensive, this time towards Timbuktu, unsure what they may uncover next. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
Now, on World Press Freedom Day, journalists in Gaza staged protests highlighting the dangers of reporting in conflict zones. The Committee to Protect Journalists says at least 130 journalists were killed worldwide last year, many in war zones, with most cases going unpunished. It estimates Israel was responsible for a significant share of those deaths, with Gaza recording the highest toll in a single conflict. The Palestinian Journalists Syndicate says more than 260 journalists have been killed in Gaza since October 2023. Globally, more than 330 journalists are imprisoned and dozens remain missing or forcibly disappeared. Speaking at the Vatican, Pope Leo warned press freedom is often violated both openly and covertly. The UN says press freedom is facing its steepest decline in over a decade, with journalists calling for accountability and protection. Al Jazeera's Malik Trainer reports.
These journalists in Gaza are marking World Press Freedom Day with a protest. Their sign reads, "Stop killing journalists. With our blood, we write for Palestine. Journalism isn't a crime." Gaza is the most dangerous place in the world to be a journalist. And the Palestinian Media Workers Union says Israel has killed more than 260 journalists in the Strip since October 2023.
All press offices in the Gaza Strip have been destroyed by the Israeli occupation. Therefore, the world, which boasts of press freedom, must look at the Palestinian journalists who are being killed, arrested and injured, especially as they document what is happening in the Gaza Strip with minimal resources.
During his Sunday Mass, attended by thousands, the Roman Catholic Pope paid tribute to members of the press.
Today marks World Press Freedom Day, sponsored by UNESCO. Unfortunately, this right is often violated, sometimes in a blatant manner and sometimes more covertly. We remember the many journalists and reporters who have fallen victim to war and violence.
From conflict zones to authoritarian states, telling the truth is becoming more dangerous than ever. The Committee to Protect Journalists estimates 130 journalists and media workers were killed last year, many in war and unrest. In most cases, no one has been held accountable for their deaths. The CPJ says Israel was responsible for more than 60% of those killings, with Gaza recording the highest toll in a single conflict. More than 330 journalists are in jail worldwide, often on vague charges related to national security or publishing fake news. About 85 journalists are missing or have been forcibly disappeared, with little or no confirmed information on their fates. Press freedom is under growing pressure globally, driven by censorship, arrests, surveillance, and violence. The UN says press freedom has experienced its steepest decline since 2012.
We call upon the international community to uphold its legal and moral responsibilities to provide protection to Palestinian journalists and hold Israeli occupation leaders accountable.
World Press Freedom Day recognizes the vital role of journalists and the rising risks they face across the world. And journalists in conflict zones like Gaza say accountability is the only way to reverse the trend. Malik Traina, Al Jazeera.
Now, I'm afraid our story brings us to the end of this news bulletin, but before we go, a quick recap of our main headlines. Coming up, the Gambia Press Union marks World Press Freedom Day, honoring media legends. The University of the Gambia holds largest ever convocation celebrating historic graduates and new academic milestones. The Gambia Armed Forces boasts operational readiness with graduation of clerical and signal cadre corps. The Bundung Maternal and Child Hospital celebrates International Workers' Day with vibrant activities. On international news, Mali conflict deepens as arrests mount and rebels claim territorial gains. World Press Freedom Day highlights rising dangers faced by journalists globally. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for another bulletin. But in the meantime, do enjoy the rest of our programs and have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching.